Chapter. So we are going to be, the program is going to start here, as you know, with a little grounding and from our amazing MC, Maya, who's running a little bit late. So I will be vamping until he gets here. I appreciate the support. And yeah, we'll just be reading the statement for Senator Padilla, and then we'll be marching down to Senator Feinstein's office, and we're going to have some great action there with a die-in about the rights in the states and some civil disobedience, and we'll see where we go. We're going to have a lot of song and joy and connection to each other, connection to the earth, and connection to justice. So I'm so glad you're all here. And I'll frame this a little bit for you. I'm going to say a bunch of things that I know you already know, but they bear repeating. Our democracy is very close to death. It wasn't weak. It's been weak for a long time. We were founded in white supremacy, and that kind of narrative has been shaping our history for 1619. And then we began to really see some actual democracy starting in the 1960s, when Black people really got much closer to franchise than they had ever been. And ever since then, we've seen almost imperceptible, but it was there, backsliding. So accelerating in the 80s, and then really accelerating when Trump got elected. And we could see, like, everything was laid bare, and we could see just how fragile our democracy is, and just how thin the veneer of these institutions and these rules are that we're keeping our democracy in place, or so we thought. So we all know what happened during the Trump years, and then there was an amazing moment when voters had their say and votes got counted, and we rallied and we called people and we got out the vote and we registered Democrats and we got a trifecta in Washington. We have Biden in the White House, we have the House, we got the Senate, just barely. That was amazing. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Stacey Abrams. Thank you, Reverend Warnock. Thank you, John Ossoff. And so things were looking good. Here we are. We are ready to pass voting rights bills. In 2018, the House had already passed the For the People Act, and it was ready to go to the Senate. It repassed, ready to go to the Senate. Get a little snag. So there are some Democrats that are refusing to amend the filibuster, which is a rule, a racist Jim Crow relic, ridiculous. Oh, yes, and the filibuster. And so that's putting the kibosh on majority rule, essentially. And so there's something like 21% of the population in the United States is putting a stop to democracy in this country, and that's what's keeping us from passing the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. And the real urgency with the Freedom to Vote Act is it can put an end to gerrymandering. So in all of the House, the House can be gerrymandered because the districts can be rigged so that even when you're in a minority, you can win a real majority of the representative seats. And if that happens, political scientists across the country say our democracy will officially be dead with extreme gerrymandering. We still have a chance to pass this law. Please do not give up hope. It's late, but it's not entirely too late. The clock is ticking a little closer to midnight. Not great, but you are all out here. You are talking to the people that you know across the country. I want you to keep talking to them. I want you to ask them to text democracy to 33339. So everybody has that memorized. And I also want you to text all one word, good trouble. One word to 797979. That is the Black Voters Matter text, and that's the text for today. So you'll getting information from them. And sorry, I should have mentioned this before. We are organizing this on behalf of Black Voters Matter. It's part of a multi-state action happening across the country. New York started a few hours ago, and we're here to stand in solidarity with everybody across the country who's going to make absolutely sure that this bill passes. So even though things are dark, what we want to emphasize is is the hope and the light. It's the season of light, it's the season of gift giving. And one of the gifts that our senators can give us is the gift of democracy. So earlier this week, Monday, we emailed Senator Padilla and Senator Feinstein, and we asked them to stand up for us, stand up for all Americans, stand up for all voters, and ask for the Senate to stay in session no matter what. We don't care about the holidays. We don't care about recess. You stay there until you have done something to save our democracy. So we're asking them to step into the holiday hero role, and Felix has an amazing holiday hero sash. Can you hold that up? Amy, our resident artist, made that beautiful, beautiful sash. So the first senator in California to call to postpone recess gets that amazing sash. And let's see, is Blue Eye here? Everybody see it? Not yet. Okay. Well, I think that I'm going to hand this over to Felix. He has a statement to read for Senator Padilla. All right. But I want to say again, thank you everybody for being here. We'll do the official Black Voters Matter chant. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Woo! Thank you, everybody.
Morning, everyone. Okay, so this is a statement for Senator Padilla. Can you hear me? Testing, 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 testing. Can you hear me now? Okay, here we go. So Senator Padilla has been an incredible ally in the fight for voting rights. He was California's Secretary of State, and he clearly knows exactly how critical it is to ensure that everyone, no matter their background or zip code, has equal access to the ballot box. At his first town hall, after being sworn in as senator, he unequivocally stated his support for abolishing the filibuster. Yeah. And just about every day since, he has called for ending this outdated racist rule. He knows that not only is the filibuster a tool that allows a minority to block the will of the majority, but also that it's specifically blocking the Senate from passing laws that will bolster voting rights and push back against voter suppression and gerrymandering that is sweeping the country. He is also on the team of 8 senators who wrote the Freedom to Vote Act. But right now, time is running out for our democracy. The Senate should have passed voting rights laws back in the summer before the census data were released, when states could begin drawing district maps so that representatives choose their voters, not the other way around. Every day these maps get drawn and approved, and we lose valuable time that we need to ensure fair maps and ensure that our votes truly matter in deciding who will govern in our name. We need to pass these laws yesterday. Here we are in December. Recess is supposed to start on Monday. So this is our ask to our senators. Please publicly call for the Senate to stay in session continuously and to not recess for the 2021 holidays until after they have passed these bills, and to let nothing stand in the way, not even the filibuster. So even though Senator Padilla is such an excellent ally on this front, we heard back from his staff that this is not a statement he's firmly willing to make. In this season of gift giving, making such a strong call is a profound gift to the American people. And if the senator changes his mind, we have something to give him as well. In gratitude for being a holiday hero, a democracy defender sash. We know that Senator Padilla is working hard to pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Act as soon as possible. We hope that he will change his mind about calling for a delay in the Senate recess. So this is our ask to both our senators to delay the recess until we can pass voting rights just because it's so urgent, especially for the Freedom to Vote Act and its gerrymandering provisions. If that doesn't get passed soon, then the primaries are coming up really fast. And yeah, it would be really tough to get it passed. We're gonna do a cheer now. So, what do we want? Voting rights. When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Thank you for coming out for voting rights.
Peace, family. Good morning. Yeah. See you all. And so, just give it a one time for Felix. Thank you so much. So this morning, yeah, I think we could use our voices to just warm up and let these folks inside these buildings, let our, our relatives know walking down these streets. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? And we want to let folks know driving by in the cars why we are here and who we are, what we are for. And so we're going to use the powerful tool of song to get on the same vibration. Y'all down to sing with me a little bit? Beautiful. So this morning we're going to sing start us off with a song called For the People song. And when we sing this song, it goes like this: we the people are for the people. I want us to actually feel that in our heart, not just say it like it's the lyrics to a song, but what that means. Because you came here probably this morning because you love your family, you love your community, because you believe in human beings, because you want the best for them. And so when you say we the people, you're identifying with some amazing, miraculous people. That's not a small thing, am I right? So let's first say it before we sing it. Let me hear you say, we the people are for the people. I'm not sure everybody around here knows who y'all are. Say, we the people are for the people. And for the people we act. Say, we the people are for the people. And now we're going to speak to our senators today. Say, will you have our back? Now we're going to say the rest of the words. Say, we won't ever let go of the hard won freedom to vote. Yeah, make some noise, y'all. Here you go. Sound beautiful. So we're going to sing this song. We're going to get on the same vibration. We're going to do it like we mean it. We're going to sing it to each other, for each other, to all the people in these streets. Here we go. I'll start us off. You go ahead and join in. If you don't know it yet, you're going to know it in the next 60 seconds, I promise. Here we go. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. We the people are for the people. Now will you have our back? Let's do that again. Say, we the people are for the people and for the people we act. That's right. We the people are for. Now will you have our back? Do it again. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. That's right. We the people are for the people. Now will you have? Do it again. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. Dance with it. We the people are for the people. Now will you have? Now say we won't. Ready? We won't ever let go of that hard won freedom. We won't, like a promise. We won't ever let go of that hard won freedom. Say, we the people. Ready? We the people are for the people and for the people we act. You got it. We the people are for the people. Now will you have our back? That again. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. That's right. We the people are for the people. Now will you say, we won't ever let go of that hard won freedom. free. Last time we won't to each other. We won't ever let go of that hard won freedom, freedom to hold. Yeah, y'all sound beautiful. So beautiful to get on the same vibration, to connect to each other for a beautiful purpose. And so I just want to honor each one of y'all who brought yourselves out your house this morning, who made it your business to come here and be in the streets together. And also just to look around and be a little grateful for each other, right? Like each one of us decided to do that today. We did it for our children, for our loved ones. What else got you out here in the streets today, if I could hear something from y'all? Friendship. Love that. What else? Yes, the earth, climate. What else? Justice. You know we love some justice. What else got you out here today? There you go. Yes. So much sacrifice. So we want to talk about that as we ground us today. So we're doing this beautiful action in solidarity with our family from Black Voters Matter. And so we are so moved, right, that today we get to do that because across this country, the people that have been fighting against the tide of white supremacy and racism is trying to take people's votes away because they're Black or brown or poor, right? It's something that all of us need to be standing up for. And so today, we do not run from that. We're deciding to be in front of our senator's office to talk about that and say that there's a war on people in this country. And white supremacy is just one way of talking about it. But that war is being carried out in the form of politics right now, my people. And so that's why we're speaking the name of John Lewis and talking about the John Lewis Voter Advancement Bill. We're talking about the freedom to vote. That is something, when we say the hard-won freedom to vote in that song, we're talking about people being clubbed. We're talking about people being murdered. We're talking about people who sacrificed their entire life so that their family could be represented by their government. And that's not a small thing. And so today, your presence carries that prayer with it, that we fight back against white supremacy and racism. I look at y'all and I see your presence as that, as a powerful statement, a powerful prayer, that we will not in any way accept this tide of white supremacy. That instead, we're going to see each other as human, as beautiful, as powerful, as full of life and love and worthy of dignity. That's why we're here. And so we're so grateful, and we believe in that prayer. I believe in the prayer of y'all presence, and I believe that those people inside our senators today, no matter where they at right here and right now, they're going to feel it. That's what I believe. I believe in our energy today. Let me hear y'all say, we believe. Oh, well, now we just got to do it. We're going to say, we believe that. We believe that we. We believe that we will win. We believe that we will win. We believe that. We believe that we won't win it. We believe that we will win. Come on. We believe that we want more. We believe that we will win. That's right. Thank you so much for that beautiful faith, for the faith that we have in our struggle, in our vision of the world. So we're just going to pause for a second. I know that most of you all did get to meet the people that you either came with or the people that are already here, some new comrades today. But for me, it's really important. We don't just come here every time for our political vision. We come to build political power, and that's done through relationship. So if you could just turn to somebody near you and just thank them for coming and ask them what they're grateful for today and what they're struggling for. And then we're going to bring you back in 1 sec. Go ahead.
Being retired is not so important. Also, living here downtown. Oh, do you? Yes. Yeah, I'm all the way in Berkeley. Near the BART station. Yeah, that's well, I lived in Berkeley for a while I was going to school. But I get over there to go to Berkeley Grant. Yes. I did that back to you've been over there, but not to Berkeley Grant. Yeah. Right. Yeah. We got together. Yeah. I did my prescription with the idea of my the side. That's what I'm doing. So far, I've been, haven't done it. Yeah. Yeah. We go here. We go to everything. Except so that's easy. I know we're going. Yes. It's been this one. We're very careful. Everybody's vaccinated. Everybody's masked. And there's usually some distance. So, I mean, children is fun. Yeah. It's just as good. Almost everything. Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, we were out over 60 years. I think. Breathe.
I would, jobs are nice.
All right, when I say people, you say power, people. People. When I say people, y'all say democracy. We want. We want. So this is how we're gonna do this, family. We're gonna now take this powerful presence over to Feinstein's office because I think Feinstein needs to hear our voice. Am I right? I think she needs to hear our song and feel our prayer. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna walk this way behind me. And what we're really our goal is to make sure that we stay close together and feel powerful and connected to each other. And so that means those of us in the front are gonna go real slow. And those of us right behind us is going to be real patient. And those of us in the back are going to stay close too. And so I want us to think of this, or actually it's not going to be like too long today. And so that means every moment that we're here, I really focus on staying connected to our purpose. And so, for Sandra, you want to come down this side probably. We're going to go ahead and walk out, and I want to offer a song. gotta walk strong. Walk in song. Beautiful. Y'all sound amazing. So we're just gonna slowly march to this song as we get over there, and we might even throw in a "We the People Are For the People" right in the middle of it. But we're gonna go ahead and do it like we mean it. So we're gonna get started when we sing, and as we sing, just kind of come as close together as you're comfortable coming in, and we'll let our folks in the front set a really slow pace for us. Here we go. Y'all ready to go? And a walking song, just like that. When you walk in the footsteps of John Lewis. When you walk in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Gotta take it. When you're walking in the footsteps of Senator Padilla, you gotta walk strong. Sing it loud now. When you're walking in John Lewis, John Lewis, and walking strong. Let them know when you're walking. Say, Dr. King, Dr. King, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Senator Hamer, when you walking in the footsteps of Senator Hamer, you gotta walk strong. John Lewis, when you're walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong. That's right. And walk in song. Dr. King, when you're walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong. Come on now. And walk in song. That's right. When you're walking in the footsteps of Dr. King, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Let's say elevator. When you're walking in the footsteps of elevator, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Keep walking slow now. When you're walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Say Dr. King. When you're walking in the footsteps of Dr. King, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Benny Lou Hamer, when you're walking in the footsteps of Benny Lou Hamer, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Let me hear y'all say John Lewis. When you're walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong. Say that like you believe in some good trouble. Say that. When you're walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Say Ella Baker. When you're walking in the footsteps of Ella Baker, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Let's do We the People. Ready? Said, we the people are for the people and for the people we act. We the people are for the people, now will you have our back? Tell them. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. Got it? We the people are for the people, now will you have our back? Say that again. Say, we the people are for the people and for the people we act. Come on. We the people are for the people, now will you have our back? We the people are for the people and for the people we act. Come on. something we won't ever let go. Hard won freedom, freedom to love. We the people are for the people and for the people. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? We the people are for the people and for the people. All together. We the people are for the people now. Will you? When you're walking in the footsteps. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, gotta walk strong and walk in song. Say his name like you honor him. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, gotta walk strong and walk in song. We say our grandmas. When you walking in the footsteps of our grandmothers, gotta walk strong. Our grandpas, when you walking in the footsteps of our grandfathers, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. And the baker, when you walking in the footsteps of the baker, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. So it's out the king, when you walking. Fannie Lou Hamer, when you walking in the footsteps of Fannie Lou Hamer, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. There you go. When you walk, John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. That again. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Tell each other that now. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Let me say elevate. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Say that name again. Come on. When you walking in the footsteps of the baker. That's a lot of courage, my people. Last time, John Lewis. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Last time, we the people. Say, we the people are for the people and for the people we act. We the people are for the people now, will you? Last time, we the people. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. Last time, we the people are for the people. Now will you have our back? Thank you so much. It looks like we're forming a powerful circle right here. Give it up for the y'all.
Good morning.
It's so beautiful to see you all out here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being defenders of democracy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So now, as you said, we're going to focus on what we're asking of Senator Feinstein. As so many of you know, on November 23rd, a coalition of 69 California grassroots activist groups signed and sent a letter to Senator Feinstein. We asked her to speak out publicly about the necessity for the Senate to pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act without delay. That's right. And for the Senate to do whatever it takes, including an exception to or reform of the filibuster, to get these two bills signed into law by the end of this year. We asked Senator Feinstein to resign if she's unwilling to take these actions. And we all recognize these are just simple requests. We're not asking a lot of her. These are simple, powerful, but simple requests to speak out forcefully as our senior senator about the crucial importance of passing these bills to save our battered democracy.
Speak up or step down.
Thank you. To preserve the fundamental, gravely threatened principle of government by the consent of the people. And what is her response? It is silence. It is inaction. Now our coalition is up to 87 grassroots groups. And we're counting. And we represent hundreds of thousands of Californians. And we are demanding urgent, outspoken advocacy by the senator to protect voting rights. Yes, more banners. Thank you. That's beautiful. On behalf of these constituents who need her to champion free and fair elections in our country, I am now going to conduct a mock interview with Senator Feinstein.
Where is she?
Thank you. Where is Senator Feinstein? Would that she were here. So we're going to talk with her. This is what we're going to say to her. And we wish dearly that she was sitting right here and listening. I will add that we're going to record this, and we're going to send it to the senator, and we are going to ask her to respond. All right? Yeah, so this is for all of us, and this is for Senator Feinstein. Senator, you have co-sponsored the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. And you have stated your support for the Freedom to Vote Act. And you have stated your openness to reform of the filibuster rules. And we appreciate all of that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. These two crucial voting rights bills have been stalled in the Senate for months. As your staff have acknowledged, 19 states have passed 33 laws just this year that condone voter suppression and election subversion. Boo! Time boo! Since the release of the census data in August of this year, Republican-led state legislatures have overseen the redrawing of congressional districts that enable politicians to select their voters rather than the other way around. And where are we at right now? It's December 9th and the 2022 electoral cycle is underway. Every day, Senator, that slips by without the passage of these bills is one day closer to the demise of representative democracy in this country. Every day. As a senior member of the Senate, with a lifetime of distinguished public service, what is keeping you from speaking out at this very moment to your colleagues and to the public to demand the immediate passage of these bills by whatever filibuster reform is necessary? What is keeping you, Senator Feinstein?
Why isn't she saying anything?
It's another question. We know that the filibuster did not experience frequent use in the Senate until the 20th century, when it's been invoked so frequently to block civil rights legislation. And quoting Audre Lorde, the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. Senator, what do you think it will take to reform, if not eliminate, the filibuster? What do you think it will take? We want to know, what will it take to dismantle this archaic Jim Crow tool? What will it take, Senator?
What you have to say, Diane?
Let me offer another question for your consideration, Senator, on behalf of all of us. I invite you to imagine standing here with us, individuals who represent the electorate in voter-suppressed states. These are people who have had to stand in line for hours in inclement weather to vote because there are sparse polling places and hardly any ballot drop boxes in their geography. These are people who can't vote because they have to be at their jobs during polling place hours. They're people who decide not to vote because individuals at polling places have been intimidating them. These are people who do not vote because they're unable to arrange for notarization of a mail-in ballot where the state requires it. They're people who have been purged from the registered voter rolls because they missed the opportunity to vote in prior elections. And they're people whose votes are not counted because partisan election officials have declared outcomes that align with party leadership, not actual vote counts. These people understand the Freedom to Vote Act. They understand the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. And they know that unless these bills are enacted, they pretty much don't have a chance to exercise their voting rights, for their voices to be heard, for government by the consent of the people, the consent of the government. So they're asking, here they are, and they are asking, have you done absolutely everything possible to help ensure the passage of these bills? Have you done everything you possibly could? Senator, what is your response? Speak up! We look forward to hearing from you soon, Senator. And please know that we will never, ever stop demanding what is fair and what is right. Can't stop, won't stop. 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 Yes, that's right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for not telling us anything, Senator Feinstein. Okay, we're going to transition to the die-in. I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. Excitingly, it turns out we are live streaming right now with Black Voters Matter. So I want to repeat that everybody should be texting one word good trouble to 797979. And remember our messages right before recess. 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 That's right. Woo! And no vacation without representation. No vacation without representation. No vacation without representation. No vacation without representation. Woo! Okay, so here's what's going to happen. The people who have, lovely people back here who have these banners, can you bring them into the circle and lay them down writing up so we will get ready for our state voting rights? Oh, sorry. Which one? Okay, well, we'll keep up the freedom to vote as long as people die up. Everything else is lined up. So can we get the box? She can't wait over here. Lay down here in the middle. Thank you. And we have some people around. You probably see. Okay, like we have the people with the states on them. If those people could come to the center, that'd be awesome. We're going to line up. And we are going to do a die-in. Everyone in the state, remember to be very close to the mouthpiece on this. And I'm going to hand it over to Luaya, who will teach us a song.
Oh, of course, I'm sorry.
All right. And so for this particular part, there is a certain amount of solemnness, right? There's a certain amount of pain and concern in this moment. go. And so this song is an important one because it's really laying out the situation in this country right now, in the situation of democracy. And it's going to be the song that we use for this powerful dramatization of the reality of democracy in this country. And I want you to say these words with me. And like I said, it's okay that you didn't just bring your anger here. You also probably brought some sadness and some concern about the reality of voting rights already in Texas or Georgia or Florida, the reality in places across the country. And so I want you to let those feelings out. You can let those feelings out. You know what I'm saying? We organize because we have hearts that feel, and so you can feel with this song. So let me hear you say, our democracy is thirsty.
Our democracy is thirsty.
And the well is running dry.
And the well is running dry.
And if these senators don't stand up,
And if these senators don't stand up,
this democracy will die.
this democracy will die.
This is a great warning. Let's say it one more time. Our democracy is thirsty.
Our democracy is thirsty.
The well is running dry.
The well is running dry.
And if Congress doesn't stand up,
If Congress doesn't stand up,
this democracy will die.
this democracy will die.
And we're going to hear powerful testimonies, and we're going to hear about the realities of different states. And so let's just practice the song one more time, as this will be our transition song between the different states. So let's try it. It goes like this. Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, this democracy will die. Let's try that. Our democracy is thirsty. Our democracy is thirsty. And the well is running dry. Congress doesn't. And if Congress doesn't stand up, our democracy will die. One more time, let me hear y'all. Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, our democracy will die.
North Carolina leads Republican by 1 percentage point, but the state's new heavily gerrymandered map increased from 8 to 10 the number of Republican-leading congressional seats, compared to just 3 Democratic-leading seats, or from 2 Democratic-leading seats. Multiple lawsuits have been filed, but the Freedom to Vote Act would nullify these horrible new maps. All right, voting rights in North Carolina.
Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, our democracy will die.
Arizona has made it harder to remain on absentee voter lists. Arizona has imposed stricter signature requirements for mail-in ballots. Arizona has imposed harsher voter ID requirements. And Arizona has expanded voter purges and increased the risk of faulty voter purges. RIC voting rights in Arizona. Arizona.
Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, then democracy will die. Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, our democracy will die.
Texas has imposed a long list of new voting restrictions. Here is just a sample. In Texas, there are now strict limits on sending mail ballot applications to voters who do not specifically request them. You cannot provide assistance in returning a voter's mail ballot. There are stricter signature requirements. There are harsher voter ID requirements. There are more voter purges. There are more barriers to the polls for voters with disabilities. And on October 25th, Governor Greg Abbott signed into law a gerrymandered map, significantly favors the Republican Party by packing heavily Democratic congressional districts and by shoring up the Republican advantage in other districts. RIP voting rights in Texas.
And the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, our democracy will die.
Voting rights, Georgia. Georgia provides a very limited window of time to apply for a mail ballot. Georgia has a very strict limit on the availability of mail ballot boxes. And Georgia has imposed harsher voter ID requirements and a strict limit on early voting days and hours. Georgia has imposed a criminal penalty for anyone handing out stamps and water to voters waiting in line. Rest in peace, voting rights, Georgia.
Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, our democracy will die.
Iowa provides a very limited time to apply for a mail ballot. Iowa has restricted assistance in returning a voter's mail ballot. Iowa has expanded voter purges and increased the risk of faulty voter purges. Iowa has increased barriers for voters with disabilities. Iowa has reduced polling place availability. And Iowa has imposed harsh limits on early voting days, or voting hours. RIP voting rights, Iowa.
Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Congress does not stand up, our democracy will die.
Montana. Montana restricts assistance in returning a voter's mail ballot. Montana has imposed harsher voter ID requirements. Montana has eliminated election day registration. And Montana has reduced polling place availability in terms of locations or hours. RIP voting rights in Montana.
And if Congress does not stand up, our democracy will die.
Louder.
Florida has made it harder to remain on absentee voting lists. Florida has a harsh limit on the distribution of mail ballots to eligible voters. Florida has limited availability of mail ballot drop boxes. Florida has imposed harsher voter ID requirements and has banned snacks and water to voters waiting in line. Rest in peace, voting rights in Florida.
This time we'll say it, Feinstein does it. Our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Feinstein does not stand up, our democracy, come on, our democracy is thirsty, and the well is running dry. And if Feinstein does not stand up, our democracy will die. And if Feinstein did it. And if Feinstein does not stand up, our democracy will die. Let's have a moment of silence real quick. Even if their lives are still moving around this world in terms of this government and their voice has been laid to rest, has been assassinated by people that don't want them represented. Today we come here for them, for their children, for us, for our community, for our relatives who are not going to be able to vote because of where they live, because of their ability. For our relatives who won't be able to vote because of their status, because of their incarceration. For our relatives who won't be able to vote because of their job, because of their assets. While the government says they don't matter, we come here today to honor their lives, their voice, and the necessity of hearing them, of having a government that represents us all. And so we take this moment to send our collective energy as we sit in this graveyard of democracy, to send our energy and our prayers and our love to them, and recommit ourselves to promise to make sure that every single human out here is represented in the way they deserve to be. Thank you. Thank you for your presence, for your prayer, for sending our relatives that so desperately needed energy, that support, and more than anything else, our commitment to keep on struggling. So as our relatives transition from this space, we want to raise up a really powerful, simple song that just asks Senator Feinstein whether or not she's going to honor the freedom to vote, and tell her that we're going to remember if she do or she don't. So let me hear you say, will you honor the freedom to vote? That's a pretty simple question. Let's say it again. Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember if you do or you don't. So let's sing that one time. It goes like this. Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, say, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, say, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or sing it quiet. Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or even quieter. The freedom to vote. Like that song can make it all the way to their heart. A little louder. Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you will louder. Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do a little bit louder, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. Like our voices can penetrate the building. Will you honor? Go ahead. The freedom to vote. We will remember. If you do 2 more times, will you honor? Go ahead. The freedom to vote. We will remember. If you do or you don't, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't. Now we're going to commence the next phase of our demonstration here.
All right, so we're going to start the civil disobedience part of our program today, and 4 of us are going to be risking arrest. So that's Amy, who is Arizona, Michelle, who is Carolina, Michael, who is Florida, and OG, who is Georgia, and Lisa is going to be our liaison. So the 5 of us will be moving into the lobby while Luaya holds it down out here. Right?
Make some noise for our comrades, y'all. So our family with Black Voters Matter said we want to take action. We want to make sure that our presence is felt, and so we're responding to that call. And so we know that there has been bold action taken throughout this country's history. There's been high risk taken throughout this country's history for people to demand the freedom to vote. And so we don't take that lightly. We remember that we stand in solidarity with each other, not just here in California, but across the country. And so really honoring, again, as we said before, let's let every minute of our presence here really be focused on that vision of voting rights and real justice for all our people, real representation. Okay? And so as our family and our friends take some action here, we're gonna hold the space with song. And there's a song that I wanna do right now that's called "The Defenders of Democracy," and it goes like this: as they move, we can also stay close together. Remember, sing to and for each other, and sing it so the people in these streets know who we are, why we here. Sing it so this prayer reaches Senator Feinstein, Senator Padilla, so they're ready to actually show up for our people, how they need to. So the song goes like this. We are the defenders.
The defenders.
We are the defenders. We are the defenders of democracy. We will not surrender. No, we will not surrender. We will not surrender our democracy. So I'll start it off. It goes like this. We are the defenders of. We are the defenders of. We are the defenders of democracy. Try that with me. We are the defenders of. We are the defenders of. We are the defenders of democracy. We will not surrender. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender our democracy. That's why we take action, because we are the defenders of. Defenders of. We are the defenders of democracy. We will not surrender. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender our democracy. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender our democracy. Let's go a little closer over here. We are the defenders of. We are the defenders of. We are the defenders of democracy. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender. Y'all sound beautiful. Make some noise for our friends. Noise for each other. Amazing. That sounds good. So as we get set up here, gonna got Larry say a couple words. Make some noise for Larry, y'all. Show some love.
Thanks everyone for coming here. Started the civil disobedience part of our program. We stand in solidarity with Black Voters Matter and all the other demonstrations happening across the country today. This demonstration is opposite of the White House's supposed democracy summit, which is a bit of a farce in a country where we have not taken care of democracy here at home, where the preservation of our democracy is not apparently the highest priority of our leaders in Washington, D.C. We want to change that right here, right now. We've been protesting for months. We had our deadline for democracy demonstrations back in July and August. We weren't kidding. That was when the census came out. That's when gerrymandering started. They had their chance to cut off the entire process, and they didn't do it. So here we are now. We are facing the prospect of primary starting in just a short month or two, and we need to get these the gerrymandering ban and all the other protections against voter suppression and election stealing taken care of. So the Congress has to act on that this month. We're betting the Congress pass the Jobless Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act before they recess. That's right. No vacation without representation. Let's hear it. No vacation without representation. No vacation without representation. No vacation without representation. One more time. No vacation without representation. That's right. So thank everybody for coming out here. Thanks for all your efforts. So stick around for a while here.
we're blocking the entrance of the building in protest of Senator Feinstein, whose staff has told us she would follow Senator Schumer's lead, but she would not lead on this issue. We're the senator from California to not lead on the crucial issue of our time, the thing that's going to hold and rescue democracy from the clutches of Republican fascism. We really need to change that, and it's just not acceptable. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Here we are today. Thanks again for coming out. Give it up for Larry, y'all. Thank you so much. And so, one beautiful thing about technology is that there's people out there who are able to see our action, and so we're kind of setting it up so that they can see our comrades witness right here in the doorway of the building. They can see our signs. Physical. All right. So, yeah, if we can just sing as we hold this space, there's a couple of songs that I'd love to do it to. Yeah, that one about who you honor and the freedom to vote has one other part to it, and it says, let's see if I remember it. So it says, now's the time to represent. We make the government. This is our house. And so this song really raises up the fact that these are all popular measures that we're asking to be taken. We're asking that the people actually be represented by the laws of this country. It don't seem like too much to ask. So we're going to go ahead and do this song. And this, I'll kind of sing it through and you're going to get it quickly. So it goes, now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our house. Say, now's the time. Say, now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. Now we say it now. Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do, or will you honor? Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do, say, now's the time, ready? Now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. Like you mean it. This is our house. Now's the time. Say, now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our house. Will you honor? Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't. Now's the time. Say, now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our house. Now's the time. Now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our. Y'all sound beautiful. Say, will you honor? Will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do, or now's the time. Say, now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our house. Now's the time. Now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our house. Yeah. Y'all sound beautiful. Amazing. Now we're gonna go ahead and when we do we have some representatives from Senator Feinstein's office here, so we want to be able to do make sure we get a chance to have the conversations we're trying to have, but we also want to make sure that our question is clear about will you have the people's back. It's really a question. It's the entire country, like we said, these are popular measures. You either represent the people or you don't. That's it. We're not asking you to decide for yourself. You're here to represent us. That's your only job. All you need to know is what the popular measures are. That's it. And so we say, we the people are for the people. For the people we ask. We say we the people are for the people. And then we ask them directly, will you have our back? And so let's just say that part a couple times. Here we go. We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? Go ahead. We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. Come on. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? Feinstein. We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. Come on. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? Yeah. We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? Keep that going. We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? We the people are for the people and for the people we ask. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? All right, listen up, y'all. We're gonna read an important letter. Go ahead now.
So, we have Jim Lazarus, who is, are you state director for Senator Feinstein, here with us on my left. And we really appreciate that he came down to speak with us. And we have a few things to say to him. But first, he said that he will convey a message to Senator Feinstein that we are asking her to speak up at a minimum with an op-ed or something more than that. Speaking about the urgency of the moment and the need to pass these bills.
That's right.
Or at least bring them up for a vote.
Yes.
Right.
And he will convey that message, so we thank him for that.
Thank you.
So, because the moment is so urgent, we sent a letter on November 23rd asking her to take action by November 30th or resign. And she did not. So we have a follow-up letter, which I'm reading to him now. Dear Senator Feinstein, since November 23rd, when we sent you a letter urging you to speak out publicly and forcefully for immediate passage of the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, a letter signed by 69 advocacy, civic, and environmental groups in California representing over 150,000 of your constituents, the number of groups asking to sign on to the letter has climbed to over 80 groups. And yet, during this time, your response has been complete silence and inaction. Our democracy is in imminent danger, and yet you choose to do nothing and to say nothing. We are enclosing our original letter so you can see all of the groups who choose not to remain silent and passive, but are now instead calling upon you with one voice to resign. We do not make this request lightly. We have enormous respect for the many fine years of public service you have given our state and our nation. But we cannot look the other way. You are failing to fight for our survival. Please stand aside and make way for someone who will.
That's right.
Thank you.
We're going to say that in one collective voice. We're going to sing what we're trying to say here. Say, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, say, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you say now's the time, cause now's the time to represent. We make the government, it's our house. Hello, this is our house. Now's the time. Now's the time to represent. We make the government, it's our house. This is our house. So will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. If you do or you don't, say, will you honor the freedom to vote? We will remember. Do it one more time. We still now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our last time. Now's the time. Now's the time to represent. We make the government. It's our house. This is our house. Amazing. Y'all sound so beautiful. Yeah, I didn't know the choir was coming. Hey. You know, y'all sound great. And so it's so beautiful just to be able to be present in a good way. You know, we started out at Senator Padilla's office, invited in that opportunity really to like step into an even stronger role. We came over here to Feinstein's office to say that you either need to show up for the people or get out the way. Am I right?
Yeah.
Read a letter again saying if you don't stand with the people, you need to resign right now.
Yeah.
That's your only job.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of life or death. So we are not confused about that. People think this is just about voting. Voting is what actually, in the end, a lot of times is going to determine life or death for so many people.
Yeah.
And so in that reality, we stand with folks from across the country standing up today. We stand with all the ancestors who stood up today. We remember all of that powerful action. We refuse to forget. And so one more time, I want us to sing the song that gets to say some of those ancestors' names, like John Lewis and Fannie Lou Hamer. It's a really powerful thing to say somebody's name, right? And so if maybe you need a little warmth or a little courage or a little commitment, maybe you need that little extra bit. Maybe Senator Feinstein definitely does. So when we say these names, right, don't let that be just a small lyric in a song. Let that be a powerful spiritual thing to call upon their spirit in this struggle. Inspire the people in these streets of San Francisco and all over the Bay, all over California and all over the country to start walking for justice and dignity. So let's do it like we mean it. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Say his name again. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Fannie Lou Hamer. When you walking in the footsteps of Fannie Lou Hamer, you gotta walk strong. That's right. And walk in song. Say her name again. When you walking in the footsteps of Fannie Lou Hamer, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Say Dr. King. When you walking in the footsteps of Dr. King, you gotta walk strong. You better say that name. Come on. When you walking in the footsteps of Dr. King, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Say elevator. When you walking in the footsteps of elevator, you gotta walk strong and walk in song. Yeah. When you walking in the footsteps of elevator, you gotta walk strong. We gotta do John Lewis 2 more times. Yeah. When you walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, God was strong. Walking solidarity. When you're walking in the footsteps of John Lewis, God was strong. Now we gotta be the people one time. We said, we the people are for the people and for the people we act. Come on. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? I can beat it. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. Tell them. We the people are for the people now. Will you have our back? We won't ever let go of that hard won freedom, freedom to all. Tell them now. We won't ever let go of that hard won freedom, freedom. Now it's time. We the people are for the people and for the people we are. Tell them. We the people are for the people. Will you have our back? Like a promise. We the people are for the people and for the people we act. Tell Feinstein. We the people are for the people. Now will you have our back? We won't say we won't ever let go of that hard one. Freedom. That time we won't ever let go of that hard one. Freedom, freedom to all. Thank y'all so much. And so, in honoring, like I said, the individual reasons that people came out here today, I do want to give us the chance just to, whenever we take action for justice, we also think about building power for the people. And so, therefore, I believe that our relationships is what give us power. The next time you're going out and someone says, I'm not sure if I have the energy today to go out. And your friend OG calls you and says, come on, I'm going. You know, because you know she's going to be out there. And so that's what gets you out there. You see, our relationships gives us power. Our relationships reminds us that we care about justice and love and dignity, and not just enough to send quote unquote thoughts and prayers, but to take action. All right, that's what we about out here. And so in that spirit, in that light, I want you again to just give gratitude and say hello. If you didn't learn the person's name next to you, please do that. If you feel comfortable, just to exchange that, your names and gratitude. So just take a minute to do that with those that are around you. And so, come on over and just
Circle up, everyone.
yeah, let's circle up. Open space for our folks who are still in front of the door for a second. And yeah, we can just come on over here up in the circle, so everybody can see each other.
All right, family. Thank you so much for being out here for this beautiful action in solidarity with the many Black Voters Matter actions happening across the country. to highlight the hypocrisy of the DC Democracy Summit when they really need to get their house in order. We need democracy here, and we want to keep up this message of no vacation without representation right before recess. There's absolutely no reason anybody should be going home from the Senate when we still don't have voting rights for everybody across the country, and when we are in so much deep danger of losing our democracy within weeks, essentially. So I want to see a show of hands. Who has texted all one word good trouble to 797979? All right. Betty's saying no, but she gets a free pass, doesn't have a cell phone. Also, she keeps the backbeat to the revolution. We are so grateful. Every Friday, Betty's out here. Thank you. Awesome. So this is beautiful. Thank you for everything. I want you to tell everybody, because our power is in all of our families. I want every single person to go home today, call, email, direct message, carrier pigeon, everybody you know. Tell them to text good trouble, all one word, to 797979. Tell them to text democracy to 33339. Tell them to raise their voices and talk to their friends and ask their friends to do the same. We need everybody, thousands and thousands of calls going to every senator all over the country and asking them, what, Lisa? Schumer, yes. I learned something new. It turns out Schumer cares what everybody thinks, even if you don't live in New York. I did not know that. So let's start talking to Schumer as well and telling him, you have the power to keep everybody on the Senate floor until we do what is right for this country, until we do what is right for everybody whose vote is suppressed and whose vote right now doesn't matter. We want all votes to matter. We want all voters to matter. We want Black voters to matter. So let's get this done. I want everybody to come in. And quick favor, can you please respond? You're going to get a follow-up from Mobilize asking if you came. Please tell me that you came just so I know you were here, so I can follow up with everybody. I think you all know that every Friday we start here at 5 o'clock. Then we walk over to Union Square and sing some really beautiful democracy carols. So I hope that those of you who have the energy tomorrow can come back. And tell your friends. Looks like Greg has energy. Greg's coming back. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I think that we're going to wrap it up, but Levi is going to close us out.
Thanks so much. Show some love to Nancy, y'all. Thank you for your organizing, for your work. Thank you so much. Yes. Nancy's my mom's name too, so extra special love. So it's really special to close out in a circle. The idea is that what we're trying to do is expand the circle, and so we think about that with the way that we organize. And every time we come out, we try to bring our friends, our relatives, our neighbors, just keep expanding the circle and try to build circles in which people are guaranteed a voice, are guaranteed love and respect. Because our lives matter. We don't have time to be waiting for politicians to create the world we need. We got to be doing it one relationship at a time. Am I right? Yeah. So I just want to celebrate the victory of having come here this morning and looked at each other and acknowledged each other and greeted each other. And that right there is a form of creating justice. And so that's a victory in and of itself. We're going to count that victory too. We got to make sure we count our victories and really feel it in our bones, in our bodies, make sure it gives us strength to keep on walking. Thank you so much. And so, to close this out, there's I just want to try this one chant. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I just kind of like it. It's just like it's a really simple one. It can just be like, it's gonna be a little jumble, but we're gonna try. No vacation without representation. Protect democracy now. Say no vacation without representation. Protect democracy now. No vacation without representation. Protect democracy now. And no vacation without representation. Protect democracy now. Let's go. No vacation without representation. Protect democracy now. There's no vacation without representation. Protect democracy. Now, one more time. No vacation without representation. Protect democracy now. There's no vacation without representation. Protect democracy now. Y'all sound beautiful. Thank you so much all together, because we're going to end with it. We have our relatives still in the doorway. We're going to remember that we go out from here with the promise that we will not surrender our democracy, that we will not surrender our community, that we will not surrender our relatives all over this country. We won't surrender the land and the water that is also at stake in our democracy. And so we sing this one more time as our parting words. We say, we are the defenders of, we are the defenders of, we are the defenders of democracy. We will not surrender. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender our democracy. We are the defenders of, we are the defenders of, we are the defenders. Like a promise to each other, we will not surrender. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender, no. We will not surrender our democracy. Thank you so much for being here.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.